Well, it's Tuesday morning, it's 9:20 and we've got 10 minutes before I need to go and do a parishioner's shopping job. We may get this started. Same customer as yesterday with the Midland 77104, quite a well-worn model 77095. I like anything that doesn't have a meter. Not sure I like the power lead, but that's his business, and it has got a fuse holder, and I've no doubt that the fuse is somewhere near what it should be, especially if I can find my glasses. The printer's printing the Midland, 3 amp, that'll do nicely. The Midland walkie-talkie instruction book from 1981 for that 3-channel crystal controlled model. Pretty similar, but no doubt better than the DNT that we were doing the other day. So that's just printing it out double-sided. I managed to have an original copy of that, so we re-scanned it, and it should be pretty decent. So he's got a cigarette lighter plug on this. We'll get it opened up. There's a screw missing. That isn't good, because they are self-tappers, I think, on these. Oh no, they're not. No, let it off. These suffer from jar joints. And we'll start by unsoldering the speaker. It's funny how this goes, isn't it? We did my Midland 77099 I bought from the charity shop. We did his Midland yesterday. We're doing his other Midland today. And we're going to do a Midland walkie-talkie. It's funny how it goes, but it does. Then we probably won't see a Midland for 2 weeks. I like the current range of them though. They're all this digital menu thing where you press transmit when it's let you do so after 2 seconds delay from the previous function. Oh dear. Did he say this was dead? If I've got his letter from yesterday. Oh yeah, it's just, this works fine. It's just a service. Excellent. Thinking about printers, I was working on my second HW101 Heathkit transceiver for myself personally. I needed to print off the manual, and it's 270 pages, so that took some doing, a double-sided. Oh, come on, don't tell me it doesn't light up. I've plugged in to the spectrum analyzer's crocodile clip leads instead of the power supply's crocodile clip leads. There we are. So these things switch on channel 9, which is annoying, but that's what they do. So there we're on channel 20. The down button works as well. We're in CB mode. And if I plug the instrument speakers in, we may even get our FM hiss. Oh, some of these 095s and 099s, you know, when there's no aerial plugged in, like that, some of them don't do the hiss. Don't think they're dead. It's the squelch circuit is such that if there's no signal at all, it may well mute. If I'm right, what's the IC? Yeah, the subsystem is JRC 33570, and I think they are primarily intended for stereo FM tuners, where when you're tuning on your FM entertainment band, you don't want it to hiss between channels. So if they see no signal, it's quite possible, if I'm right, for these to mute. So people, we get sets in and they say, well, I've switched it on and it's dead, there's no receive. In actual fact, if they just poked a screwdriver in the back of the aerial socket, it would have been enough to give it a signal to unmute. So don't always think they're dead when they're not. Okay, that gives us 4 minutes. I'm sure we can tune it up in 4 minutes, not. So here goes. Knocks the power off, has to reselect channel 20. So if we go back to his letter, $77,095. We'll switch picture in picture on. Oh, it does annoy me when this happens, but it's happened. It's doing TX for what? There's no arguing with that. These must be PR. These can't be 2780. Well, they are 2781, so there's no high-low power. So that's strange, isn't it? Because that's part of 2781 is to have a high-low power switch. So Midland Precision Series didn't, and had to supply. If anybody moaned, they had to fit a retro thing free, but I don't think many people moaned. I'm fed up of power going off and coming back on. Right. Deviation.
Wallow. 1, 2. Wallow. 1, 2.
I'm going to have to unplug this extension speaker. Wallow. Wallow. Deviation is wallow. Is 2.1 kilohertz. It can just go up a tiny fraction. Now frequency, I've only put the test set on 5 minutes ago, so we won't make any adjustments till I come back from that shopping job. But we'll just look at the frequency, or we can make the adjustment. We will need to recheck it. 27,79112. Very, very slightly low. It's neither here nor there. We'll pop that up right now, and then we'll check it later on. Whichever way I turn this, it'll be the wrong way. I think we'll leave it at that. There we go. So on receive, plug that extension speaker back in. I'm definitely in the right socket. There's another car radio that's of this customer that smells of car air freshener. So we've got the signal generator set up. Let's put the cyanide meter on. Put this over to the cyanide meter and select. Actually, it's about 12 yeah, it's 12 dB. So as it's come, it's doing RX equals. We're between scales here, so I've got 0.33 showing there, and on the other scale, the coarser scale, we've got 0.31. So we'll call it an average between the two. So we'll say it's 0.32 microvolts for 12 dB cyanide. And that's where it ends. I'll disappear. We've done the preliminary testing, and at least everything can warm up for 2 hours, so it's going to be pretty stable when I come back. Right, so roll on this afternoon, and we will see what we can do for the transmitter to make sure it is at peak. We know it's doing 4 watts. We'll just run through that and unplug the extension speaker. So we've got, without looking at the manual, we haven't got low power. So we've got power in general. We're going to have deviation, squelch, and power. We'll just see what that preset is. Well, not what we want. So we've got power on that one. It's capable of doing 5. So we can now turn it down to 4, having peaked the rest of it. So I've been through it, and we're still 4 watt, which is what we want. Deviation. Could have done with bringing this up a fraction. Is it that one? It is. Wallow. 1 2 1 2 wallow. Wallow. Yeah, that's about right. So the last one will be that one. Will be squelch. I could charge less, couldn't I, for sets with no meters, because there's 2 adjustments we don't have to make. But on the other hand, I think we work for about 89 pence an hour. Right, plug the extension speaker back in, and let's listen to our receive. Of course, I knocked the power off, and that brought us back to 10:09. Oh, that does annoy me with sets that do that. Right. Receive. So we'll start with the detector. Put 100 microvolts on. So we're looking at the equivalent of an S9 signal. Switch the oscilloscope on. Turn the bench light off. We'll put that camera onto the oscilloscope. Okay, so now we'll adjust the detector coil, which is likely to be that one. I'll tell you what, we've got a bit more out of it. Now we'll drop the signal, go to the cyanide meter, put the bench light back on. Just go through the front end. Well, actually we've got a fraction out of that. Put the bigger signal on. Check these three again. Go back to a smaller signal. See where we are for 12 decibels now. So for 12 decibels we've got 0.31. We could say 0.305 to be honest. 0.31 microvolts. We'll change scales because it's right on that border. 0.3. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same. We can actually hear it down to about 0.015. It's very good. So we'll check the frequency once again, because when we started this morning the test instrument hadn't warmed up to its accurate operating. Blooming thing. Yeah, so just pop that down a fraction. Do mate. Good, we're all done. So we'll put the speaker back on. These wires are a little bit long. Bit of solder splodge on there as well. Then we'll put some screws in it for a laugh. Case screw in that. There we go. Pop it on the aerial and see whether we can hear anybody, which is unlikely. Nineteen, Roger. So apart from the chappie telling about his sleep, there's nothing there. Do you know what? We never did the squelch, did we? I'm glad you all reminded me. We'll just connect it back up to the test set. Chances are I'll have to open it up again. So I'll put the camera on the attenuator. So with squelch to full, I'd like to see 100 microvolts when it comes in. 3, 10, 30, 100. 300, it's no good at all. So we'll open the setup. With 100 microvolts now on the test set, we'll turn the preset until it comes in. Well, we hope we will. Hello. Am I doing the wrong one? No, it's the right one, all right. So that's its most sensitive. No, that's really not good. With a signal generator on full chat, I still can't get it to open. Well, at the sensitive end, let's see what it's doing. There's nothing I can do about the design. So we'll park the signal generator. Set threshold. So we're at 0.3 of a microvolt. Straight in and going off at 0.27. Coming in at 0.33, going off at 0.27. So the sensitive end is fair enough, but at full, it will let a signal in eventually, but I think they're having to come through your letterbox for it to actually open up on full. So it's just something to be aware of, because we like them to open as a maximum of 100 microvolts, so anything beyond S9 you can't squelch out. So that's it, that's the way it is. We were doing alright on this set till that happened as well. You know, there's always something which you think that could do with being a little bit better. So we'll do a test with Mr. Chippy later on. See how it works around Scratchy Corner. I think it's going to work absolutely fine. It'll be wall to wall and treetop tall, good buddy. So thank you for watching the rather well worn 77095 Midland under 2781 licensing, and that's a radio from about 1987. Thanks.